Hey, Kentucky. It has been a tough night and maybe an even tougher morning for so many of our residents. We are currently experiencing one of the worst, most devastating flooding events in Kentucky's history. The situation is dynamic and ongoing. In most places, we are not seeing receding water. In fact, in most places, it is not crested yet. What we're going to see coming out of this is massive property damage. We expect the loss of life. Hundreds will lose their homes, and this is going to be yet another event that it's going to take not months, but likely years for many families to rebuild and recover from. I've been at the Emergency Operations Center since about 7 this morning, speaking directly to local officials, emergency management directors, working directly with the National Guard, each and every one of our cabinets. I've spoken directly to the CEO of the American Red Cross. We have activated our National Guard. In fact, I just signed a state of emergency that will unlock the resources needed and also tell the people of Eastern Kentucky that we are going to be there for them. You are important, and we want to help. The National Guard currently is staging 3 helicopters, moving trucks that will be able to get through water, ultimately ensuring we have the personnel to provide safety to as many Kentuckians as possible. KSP, the state police, are fully active, have an extra helicopter that can be used in rescues. The transportation cabinet is actively working, preparing for debris removal. Fish and Wildlife is out with boats, working to make water rescues where safe for their personnel. Forestry is ready for any cleanup. This is an all hands on deck. We're opening 3 state parks in the regions to our people who have lost their homes, because a lot of people are going to either fully lose their home or it is not going to be habitable for some time. Those parks are Jenny Wiley, Buckhorn, and Pine Mountain. One thing to mention is these are in those areas. They're experiencing challenges too. You may show up to them and we don't have electricity. We still got a room for you, and we'll do our best to take care of you as we get everything up online. We've got right now a little over 23,000 people statewide without power. That's not just in this eastern area, but certainly the worst of it is there. And water. We're going to lose water, at least temporarily, in many of these areas. I know we're losing it in Pike County. I know Martin County's water system is down. What can happen in these massive floods is you can ultimately burst lines, and then you have to shut down the system as you repair it. We already have truckloads of water ordered and headed that direction. The counties that have declared states of emergencies, again, this is dynamic, include Floyd, Breathitt, Clay, Owsley, Letcher, and Pike. We've got a couple specific situations going right now. One includes a school where we have a couple of faculty members, but no students or children that are currently stranded. Also looking to ensure that we are checking on our nursing homes and our seniors that may be vulnerable, and that we have plans in place to move them if necessary. But listen, the situation right now is tough. There are a lot of people in Eastern Kentucky on top of roofs waiting to be rescued. There are a number of people that are unaccounted for, and I'm nearly certain this is a situation where we are going to lose some of them. But we are going to do everything we can to help as many people as possible. This is what we do as Kentuckians. We help each other out. Later today, I'm going to be publishing the locations of where shelters are being set up. And I'm going to ask Kentuckians to come together and to support those shelters. What people are going to need are water and cleaning supplies. Those are the major 2. So we don't need to flood it with clothes yet, but those are going to be the emergency needs that people will have. I'm going to have another update at 12:30 today at the team Kentucky update. We should have more information. Right now, the weather forecast isn't great, but it could be worse. Hopefully, the tail end of this first part will be leaving the east here soon. Then we're going to have, we hope, at least a couple-hour break. We're going to have another rain, probably mid-afternoon. We're hoping it's not more than an inch, and we hope that that is a lot more than what we get. We're also hopeful after that we have a much more significant break that can allow the waters to recede. Asking everybody to pray. There's a lot of people out there who need help, who are really scared right now. And we're doing the very best we can to reach each and every one of them. With that, I'd like to call up our Adjutant General for the National Guard, who has been mustering our incredible men and women who serve in the National Guard, who are going to be in these communities helping. General Lamberton.
Thanks, sir. So I wanted to let everybody know that the Commonwealth's National Guard, your National Guard, we've been alerted to the prospect of this situation since early yesterday afternoon. And what we've been doing in that time, as the governor just alluded to, we've alerted some of our units in the area. We've started mustering some of our soldiers, some of our equipment who would be responsive to this situation. And we've continued that for approximately the last 20 hours at this junction. Earlier this morning, as more specific needs developed in the impacted counties that the governor just identified, we've been sending some of our assets down there. For example, we've got aviation assets who are on site in the impacted area now. We've got other aviation assets that are en route to the impacted area to back up those assets. And that dynamic, as the governor had alluded to a little bit ago, this is a whole of government type of response. So for example, our aviation assets, those are working in conjunction with the aviation assets from the Kentucky State Police. We are working in conjunction with the professionals through emergency management. Some of the specified necessities for flooding rescues, we're working that with the Department of Wildlife and Fishery, as they have the capability of extracting folks who may be overwhelmed by the flooding itself. The governor had also alluded to a specific school in Breathitt County. We have eyes on that school right now. We're working out the details to go ahead and extract identified individuals at this junction from Breathitt County. We also are using our aviation assets to look over the wider area. We are tracking that some folks are currently stranded on top of their roofs. We've identified those people and are making preparations to go ahead and withdraw them. The governor also alluded to, we have 15 to 20 what we call high axle vehicles that can pass through the flooded roads to get in and assist in either delivering supplies or retrieving these folks. So quite simply, I want everybody in the Commonwealth to be aware of, and specifically those who are in the impacted area in eastern Kentucky, that your National Guard is not only already responding, we've been prepared to respond for quite a few hours at this junction. We've got assets that are on to the scene, and we've got more assets working in conjunction with other parts of state government for whatever response will develop in the next few hours, in the next 24, in the next 48 hours. Sir, thank you.
So once again, the situation is dynamic. We probably have not seen the worst of it. Sadly, we believe that we will lose Kentuckians, and a lot of Kentuckians will probably lose most of what they have. But we are actively responding, and we will have more information certainly later today with the potential for another update if necessary later in the day. I will attempt to answer the questions that I can. I think we may have, do we have Carolina on the line? Okay, let's start with Carolina. As we wait for Carolina, it also reminded me another thing we're working on is cell phone service. down in many of these areas, which of course creates such challenges. We have great working relationships with at least 2 major providers that are actively working with us to get that service back up and running. Okay, do we have Joe Ragusa? No? What about anyone else? Okay, everybody, we're doing the best we can. To anybody in Eastern Kentucky that right now is scared, we care about you, we love you. We're going to do our very best to get to you as quickly as we can. Thank you.